What's up, garden nerds? Today is part 2. We're gonna nerd out over my backyard for the second time, but this time we're gonna do the second half of my backyard. I can't wait to show you. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Come on, let's go. All right guys, so last week we dealt with this half of my backyard. Today, we're gonna come here under my patio, past the pool, and we're gonna talk about the second half of my backyard. So actually, let's come right in here through the pool gate, and we're gonna come back this way. Here's my awesome lantana that has gotten huge and is awesome to look at while you're swimming. But here are some fruit trees. All right, let's start here. Got some pomegranates right here. I love putting pomegranates here because it's back far away from my house, back far away from the hose. I rarely have to water these, and they just kind of take care of themselves. So I have one right here, and then I have a larger one right here. One of them is a parfinka, however you say that. The other one, I forget the variety. I know it's not a wonderful though, because I do not like wonderful pomegranates. I have a wonderful that I'll show you in a minute, but these are two different varieties. And then right here, step back and show you, this is my Pakistani mulberry tree. I love this thing. The neighborhood kids love this thing. They'll be swimming in the pool, they'll jump out, they'll grab some mulberries, and they just absolutely love it. And my goal with this thing, and this should happen within the next year or so, is I want the whole canopy to fill out everywhere. This whole area, I want it to fill out so that we can chill and have shade right next to the pool. So that's the goal. I'm gonna keep the canopy trimmed really high so that people can walk under it. But this whole area hopefully soon will be filled and covered by the Pakistani mulberry canopy. Then if you come back in here, I have hidden a loquat tree. You can tell, took a little bit of a beating this summer from the heat and the sun, but overall it's looking good. It's probably about 7 feet tall now. This is a big gem loquat. The reason I have it back here is because loquats need lots of shade. You can see my video all about loquats, but it seems to do very well here because it's back in the shade. Another orange jubilee. As you can tell by now, I love orange jubilees. This is the first one I ever planted, probably 15 feet tall now. I love it. Over here, another orange jubilee. And then here, I'll show you the backside of my Buddha's belly bamboo. I love this bamboo. It's a dwarf bamboo. So at its tallest point there, it's probably 15 feet tall. I think that's as tall as it will ever get. Let's walk here through this gate. Let's see what's over here. Let me back up this way. Here are my horrible looking neglected bananas. This is an ice cream banana. This got full sun all throughout the summer. Didn't protect it. Probably didn't water it enough. A lot of times my newer plants, I think this might be stupid on my part, but I like to neglect them a little bit. I like to let them get nice and strong. And then it seems after that first year of neglecting them a little bit, they explode because they're used to our climate, they're used to our conditions, and they're ready to grow. That might be stupid, but that's what I do. But anyways, you can see there's a new pup. I'm gonna start taking care of these, hopefully get some good growth out of them before the cold hits. And then over here, this is my Cardaba banana. There's 2 or 3 stalks there. Haven't gotten bananas off of this one yet. I'm hoping soon that I do, but this one grows pretty easily. Again, this one is a little bit neglected as well, just throughout the hot summer. This is not a fruit tree right here. This is a Chinese pistache. And I'm going to do the same thing with this that I'm doing with my mulberry. This whole area right here, I'm gonna have it grow its canopy so that this whole area, all the way to my roof, is covered. Living in Arizona, I hate the sun. I want shade. And so anywhere I can get shade, I'm going to. So soon, and that's why the canopy here is so high, because I want us to be able to walk under it and still get that shade. So that's what I'm doing with this tree. Let's come actually right here. This is my passion fruit vine growing along my patio. You can see here, this is where it's planted. It's 2 years old, and this last spring it gave me quite a bit of fruit. Passion fruit vines are awesome. They grow fast. Once they get established, they grow and they don't stop growing. They can grow 30 feet in one day. I said 30 feet in one day, I meant 30 feet in one summer. They love the heat. Once they're established, they love the sun as well. The sun really doesn't hurt them. All right, let's come back over here. Here's the other side of my Buddha's belly bamboo. And then if you come in here, I have a ton of stuff. There's some sugarcane back here. There is a mango tree. This, guys, is my first mango tree ever to be planted. One of my first fruit trees ever to be planted. It's a Kent mango. And when I planted this, I had no idea what I was doing. All of this was rock. So my backyard, I don't know if I told you this, but when I first moved in, every single inch of my backyard was rock, including right here. I pulled the rock back. I dug a hole just big enough to plop the mango tree in there, covered it back up with rock, and walked away. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But hey, it somehow managed to survive. Now I've taken care of it. I've tried to amend the soil. But I think initially planting it that way, not knowing what I was doing, stunted its growth, so it's not nearly as big as it should be. But I have gotten mangoes off of it. Kent is one of my favorite mango varieties. Hopefully now that I'm taking better care of it, it will start to grow and get a little bit bigger. And then right here is a Hawaiian papaya, planted from a seed that I got at the farmer's market. No fruit off of this one yet, but we'll see. And then back in here on this side of the palm tree and this side of the palm tree, you can see my bananas, and there's a few bananas right there. I think they got scorched by the sun. I don't know if they're gonna turn edible, but hey, I got bananas, which is kind of cool. And then right next to it is my favorite mango tree of all time. This is my sweet tart mango. Sweet tart mangoes, to me, are the best tasting around. I love them, and I can't wait till this tree is bigger and I get dozens and dozens of mango fruit every summer from it. Got a little beat up over the summer. There goes a leaf, but it's putting out this beautiful, nice new growth. There's some more over here, some up here. So it's happy. It's putting out new growth with this cooler weather, I guess you could say. It's doing well. Right next to it, packed in here, is my Barbados cherry tree, or bush. I grow it as a bush, as a shrub. I've done a video on that if you want to check it out. But this thing loves the sun. It wants full sun. It wants the heat, and it just grows like a weed, constantly having to trim it back. And then right here is my wonderful pomegranate tree. I love the tree. It's one of the first I ever planted as well. It's huge. It gives good shade, helps with the microclimate, but I'm not a huge fan of the wonderful pomegranate in general. It seems to get eaten by the leaf-footed bugs more so than the other pomegranates, and just not do as well fruit-wise. Growing, it grows awesome and it's easy, and I never water the thing anymore because there's water all around it. But wonderful, if you're gonna go with the pomegranate, I would not go with the wonderful, I would go with a different variety. And there's lots of different varieties. All right, let's squeeze back in here. You probably can't even see this. Back in here, actually, check it out, a mango and another mango. This is an orange essence mango packed back in here. It's been overtaken by the pomegranate tree to its left and the apple tree up here to its right. In the next week or so, I'm gonna trim this back, give it lots of sun, so when winter hits, it can get blasted by the sun every day. But I've learned that mangoes can take the shade, They don't mind it. They want a little bit of sun, but they can take a lot of shade. And when they do have a lot of shade, it just takes a little while longer for their mangoes to ripen. Some sugar cane back in here. And then here is my apple tree that I got from RSI Growers. This is a multi-graft. I believe it's an Anna apple and a Tropic Sweet apple. I trimmed this thing big time last winter. It's grown back, but by last winter, it was probably 5 feet taller. These things like to grow. They grow fast. They can take the full sun, no problem. And I got lots of apples on it this year. Really good. All right, and then let's come back here. I'm kind of embarrassed by this mess back here. Well, let me show you this. You guys love to see my mistakes. This is my passion fruit vine. I think just after 4 years, it was just done. Didn't do anything wrong to it that I know of, but it just died. So I need to replace this so it can cover up my ugly shed. This is the part of the yard where I just store everything. But there's two things back here. There is a loquat tree that was used and abused this year. It got a lot of sun, but it's recovering. And my hope is, you can see there's this huge peach tree that's in the front yard that's growing large, and it's going to shade it. And then I have this Tropic Sweet peach tree that is 1 year old, 1.5 years old now, and it's going to start taking off. And so very, very soon, probably by next summer, it will be covering this loquat tree completely, which will help give it a lot more shade, help it grow better, help it look nicer, and help it give better fruit. This is an unknown variety of loquat, but it is my favorite. I wish I knew what variety it is, but when I bought it, it was unknown. But the fruit off of this thing is fantastic. So hopefully I can give it a better microclimate here in the next year or two as this peach tree grows even bigger and as this peach tree grows even bigger. So guys, that is my backyard, part 2. That's my whole backyard. You've seen it all. Like I said, when I first moved in here, this was all rock. Every single square inch of it was all rock. There were no trees, nothing at all, just rock. And since that time, this is what I've transformed it into. So, moral of the story is you can do it too. It's actually not that hard. You're gonna kill a few things along the way, but the goal or the trick is to just start planting and keep planting, because all these trees thrive off of each other. The more trees you have, the happier all of your trees are. And soon, you'll have a little jungle, and it will get better and better every year. Guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the views. I appreciate you subscribing. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.